want to talk about the combination of zero balancing and the supercoherence frequencies. As a zero balancing practitioner, I always use the SRTLF frequencies during my sessions with the Divine Mother picture on top of the heart of the person, the middle of the chest. And I use the frequencies on the side of. I want to talk about the combination of zero balancing and the supercoherence frequencies. As a zero balancing practitioner, I always use the SRTLF frequencies during my sessions with the Divine Mother picture on top of the heart of the person, the middle of the chest. And I use the frequencies on the side of the head. So I normally do that in all my sessions. And I noticed that it's especially good for cases of depression. The first case that happened to me was an old client suffering from depression and under medication for several years. And he was one of the first people that I used the SRTLF during the zero balancing session. And after the first time I did that, the next week he came back and he just said, "Katya, I don't know what you did last time, but I want you to do it again because I had the best week of my life." So I just did it again with the frequencies, and again and again, and I repeated that for 4 or 5 weeks, and he just felt better and better. At that time, in the beginning of the treatment, he was using 3 different medications: antidepressant, something to sleep, and something to control his mood. In a time of about 6 months, he was using only 1 medication. That happened more than a year ago, and I haven't seen this client for a while because last time he told me he was feeling really well, he was feeling really balanced. He got the frequencies for himself and he wears them every day as far as I know. So after that I learned that I could use the frequencies and zero balancing for cases of depression, and I always do that. I have a client that came to me about 4 or 6 months ago suffering from depression, and I did exactly the same zero balancing session with this SRTLF on the side of the head and the Divine Mother on top of the chest. And after the first session, he called me the next day telling me he was feeling about 70% better. Then he came for a second session 2 weeks later, and after the second session he told me all his anxiety had gone and he was feeling more able to contact people and talk to people, more open. On total he came for only 3 sessions, and it was really fast. And after 3 sessions he brought me other 2 people: his wife, that in his opinion was suffering from depression, and a friend of his. With his wife, she came for 2 sessions only in 2 weeks. After the first session, she told me she felt much better, and her husband told me the same, that she seemed to be a different person. And so she came for a second session after a week, and then she felt it was enough for her. And I'm still treating his friend who came for the same situation, depression, and I've given him 4 sessions up to now, but in my opinion he's much better. He always come in the last 2 sessions he came in a very good mood, telling me about his week and extremely talkative, very different from the first session. But he told me he wants to continue coming every other week to be sure he'll be okay.